Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap and review, I'm having soda, and tonight I'll be discussing The Outlaw Witch of Sherwood by Brittany Hansen. I did receive this as an e-arc from the Nerd Fam, and of course I'm giving my honest opinion. Unfortunately, I did DNF this at 30%. If DNF reviews are not your cup of tea, that's okay, feel free to keep scrolling. I do want to give my thoughts for as far as I got in the book. Now remember, reading is subjective and not every book is for every reader, so if this sounds like something you want to try, I strongly encourage you to give it a try, and I hope you love it. These are the highlights and the content warnings. So what's this book about? Now, because I didn't finish the book, I'm going to read the synopsis straight from the Zahn just so it's accurate. Blood magic seeps into Sherwood Forest in this lush, gender-bent reimagining of Robin Hood. Everyone knows Sherwood Forest means death, be it by an outlaw's blade, strangled by tree roots, or eaten by witch-spawned demons. No one faithful to the almighty goddess would willingly enter the woods. In the kingdom of Locksley, the crown princess Raina hides treasonous magic in her veins, praying that her private blood tithes to the official church will keep her power dormant. When the High Sheriff of Nottingham returns from the war, he is far from the arrogant, brash sparring partner she remembers. His eyes, while still devastatingly handsome, are now haunted. The torment he endured at the hands of the enemy has forged him into a ruthless weapon, and he is reigniting the hunt for the witches like Raina. It's only when Raina's Verda blood is exposed, forcing her to flee, that she discovers the truth. Sherwood Forest is nothing like they've been taught. With its pockets of ever-blooming spring, a clever fox companion, and a merry band of outlaws, Raina is more at peace in the woods than she ever was in the palace. But soon the trees whisper of a growing evil that threatens both Sherwood and Locksley. And while Raina no longer has a crown, perhaps she can defend them all by wearing a hood. So what are my thoughts? Again, I did DNF this book at 30%. Now, for me, going into this, I was really excited because it checked so many boxes for me. But within a couple pages, I could tell the author's writing style was probably not going to be for me, but I did want to give it until 30% because that's generally my cutoff as to whether or not I'll DNF a book. First is that there was just not enough dialogue for me. Dialogue is where I really get to see the characters shine, see their personality, and see how they interact with one another. This book had a lot more of everything being described out to you. They do have some internal musings, as well as they do talk to one another, but they also, some of them have the ability to talk in their minds to one another, but there was just not enough. It was, again, a lot more of it just being described out to you, and there's just nothing I love more than good banter, good heart-to-heart moment, or a good trash-talking session. This is when I get really invested in the characters. I mean, just before I DNF this book, there was a fight scene on a bridge with Little John, and they did barely talk to one another. Where was the trash talking? Where was the banter? Where was something? For me, it just felt like everything was being described to me, like I said, and I was just along for the ride, just like the characters. And for me, that was just not very exciting to read. So much had actually happened by the time I DNF'd this book, and it just didn't feel exciting. Overall, this was just not the book for me, but if it sounds like something you're interested in, I strongly encourage you to give it a try for yourself. I can definitely see this book having a really good payoff later on, especially if you vibe with this author's writing style. But for me, I was just not willing to put in the time for a potential payoff later on. This book will be available tomorrow, September 7th, and I hope you give it a try, and I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.